Wildcard pick'ems. Oh, that was good. YouTube Osick going the Goat House is back for some playoff pick'ems. We're going to be here every single week with our playoff pick'ems, and there's a crazy snowstorm out here in Chicago, so we are doing this through our Discord this week. But the guys are still here. They're here, and we might get a little bit of a zoom in on their face like at the beginning. That was nice. I loved it. There it is. All kinds of playoff content here, but we have off-season content as well. We have a recent mock draft. We have the previous draft regrade, so all kinds of nice content. Free agency, we got you guys covered. Whatever it is, NFL, we got you guys covered. Join us, like, subscribe to Notification Tom. Follow us on Twitter. A lot going on there, a lot more coming to there, a lot of the breaking news. Sponsors, Liquid IV, GLD Shop, code GOAT. Links pinned in the comments for anything you are looking for. Let's take a look at the final regular season standings, and I went ahead and took it home at 179. Pete 176, Yeller 172, and Junior he was there. What a journey!
Playoffs, it resets. It resets.
But what a journey it was for that to take home the victory for that 179. I got to thank the big man upstairs, Roger Goodell.
The big man
Roger Goodell, the big man upstairs. Without him, it would not be possible. Last year, old Yeller got it. I sat down in the offseason. I had to figure out what it was going to take to get back on top. I changed my diet. We went gluten-free. That really helped out to get back to the top. And, yeah. That's how we did it. That's the secret sauce.
It's incredible.
One more thing.
Incredible.
But it has nothing to do with my incredible performance, but all those young sports fans out there, I hope you tuned in to the national championship game last night, because then they learned a valuable lesson that if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. It's sad, but that's how it is. So hopefully everyone took notes on that. And all right, that's my.
There's cheating penalties and stuff.
Yeah, pretty much. Those are my takes of the day. But the winner of the Super Picks League of the regular season was Larry Heggs. Trevor Hicks, clap it up. First place in the Super Picks League. The top three actually get prizes from the GLD. I'll be contacting them soon about that. It was Larry Heggs, who's Trevor Hicks. Astronaut, who was the only person in the Go Dallas Hall of Fame, got second. He also won the Fantasy League, too, so that guy's on a tear. Anthony Kramer, that is. And then Backdoor 338, that is Edward Blackman. Those three get prizes, and the winner of the regular Picks League, Skipper, gets a prize is well. So Twitter subscribers will be involved in some bracket picks league for the playoffs. Excited about that. So we're going to have Larry Heggs. Since he won, he's going to be with us picking throughout the entire playoffs, but the Week 18 winner was Big Ounce. He will pick this week since he won last week. So really excited about playoffs. Did we just do it? Enough with the BS. Browns, the 5 seed, going to Houston to play the Texans, the 4 seed. Joe Flacco over C.J. Stroud. Who had that going into the year? That would be a playoff matchup. I think everybody had that, right? Right. All right. Who wants to start us off on this epic matchup?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go ahead and take Cleveland on the road here.
Okay.
I'm just going to trust the experience, and I just think that Cleveland has a better all-around defense, I think. Houston's incredible this year. It's one of those stories you just love to see.
All right.
This is where it ends. That's all I got.
That's where it ends. He's got Cleveland. Okay, what does Pete got?
Imagine if it was Deshaun Watson versus the Houston Texans. That'd be something.
That would be something.
I agree with Junior, though. I'm going to go with the Browns. I just think a lot more experience on that side. Stefanski's been in the playoffs. I mean, I know D'Amico Ryan's been in the playoffs, but not as a head coach. It's just a young team. Like where Houston's going, I think they have a lot of potential. Obviously, the sky's the limit with C.J. Stroud as their quarterback. You can win when you got someone back there that makes the plays he does. But just going to trust the Browns here. Pound the football, play some really good defense, pull it out.
Pull it out. Okay. Are you officially pulled out on the Falcons?
Yeah, we're pulled out.
Okay. All right, good. Yeller's taking the Browns dog in the dog pound, even though it's he'll be in the dog pound, but the game's in Houston. And Larry, the season winner, is taking That's an important pick here. He won the season. He's taking the Cleveland Browns. So we have 4 over there. Big Ounce, who is, I will add, who won Week 18, so he's joining us this week. But I will add, he is a Texans fan. He is taking, as you can tell, I don't think I needed to say that. It's in his, C.J. Stroud's in his little picture there. So he's going Texans, and I will join Big Ounce. I will take the Houston Texans as well. So it's just me and him over there versus you 4. Yeah, the home team, home field advantage is kind of what, multiple reasons, but that kind of steers me in the direction of Houston. The Browns this year, the difference between home and away, quite the difference. I do love the Browns defense. Like the best thing from this game, looking at every side of the ball, probably the Browns defense would be a reason to go with them. But again, the difference home and away, and they're missing so many guys, and I know Flacco's been playing good, but maybe he comes back down to earth. Maybe D'Amico Ryans comes up with a good defensive plan here. And they did play the Texans a few weeks ago, but the Texans were without Stroud. They were without several guys, so it's a different matchup for the Browns in that game. So I'm going to go with Houston being at home here, but it should be a good one. I thought this was the toughest one to pick, so this should be a really solid one. So we have 4 people for the Browns, 2 for the Texans in the first game of the I should have said in the beginning, super wild card week pick'ems. Bump. Should we do it? Should we start over? First, Junior's got a question.
Yep. This is Saturday?
This is Saturday.
First game.
Saturday. Let me get the
3:30.
3:30. Pete's got the specific times. I was going to get it. 2 games on Saturday, so the next one we're going to talk Super Wild Card Week pick'ems. There we go. It didn't feel right unless it had added the super in there. So, okay. You guys are on fire with the bump bumps.
You could add super before anything, and it just make it better.
Right.
Do the bums actually sound good? Or
no, they don't. They don't. I'm full of shit. 6 versus 3, another AFC matchup. The Dolphins going to Kansas City. This is Saturday night football on Peacock only. Peacock.
I got it.
You got it?
What
so do I.
Joke.
Peacock was free for us on Xfinity, but now it's like
no, I know.
It's not free, but it's a 2-year like free trial or something. I don't know. So got it for now.
Joke.
Dolphins at Chiefs. I mean, who wants to do it? Who wants to start?
I'd like to begin.
Okay.
Yep. I don't feel good about this pick. It really hurts me in the belly, but I got to take the Chiefs.
All right. I thought you were going to say it hurts you somewhere else.
No,
hurts you in the belly.
In the no-no area.
Yeah, that's my. Never mind.
Your no-no hurts.
Yeah, my no-no.
All right. Who's next? Pete?
No, hip hop. What is it? Hip hop Harry? Is that
it? Hip hop. That's not his name. It's
What
Larry.
is it?
It's Larry. He's taking the Dolphins. He's taking the Dolphins. 2 Larry Heggs. Hip hop Harry. That's from like what is that? Like a kid's show? It's like some giant teddy bear or something.
No, I know. You were like, "Who's next?" And they do like the little freestyle thing where he's like, "Who's next?"
Oh, I don't remember that.
All right.
Larry Higgs is now forever hip hop Harry.
He's hip hop Harry. He.
What I meant.
Oh, I thought you were asking what Larry was going with.
No, you keep saying who's next, and I was just
I don't
referencing hip hop Harry.
All right, wonder how many. Comment if you knew what Pete was talking about, or if you were. I knew who hip hop Harry was, but I had no idea who you were talking. What you were talking about exactly.
Good stuff.
I mean, we got a new nickname out of it.
No, yeah, we'll call him that though.
Hip hop Harry is going with the Dolphins. He did add that he is a Broncos fan and he just hates the Chiefs. So that kind of that's kind of
personal.
He won the Picks League though while hating a team. You know, he won this year, so I think he's picking to win here. Hip Hop Harry, that is. So I want maybe he's planning. He's banking on Mostert banging it up this week. I don't know.
Oh,
yep.
Yeah, they saved him. They kept him out a couple games, and he's gonna be relatively fresh here.
Hey, speaking of banging it up, dude, I got banged it up. I got a ticket right here, man.
A ticket?
Oh,
yeah. What is that about?
Speeding ticket?
No, I don't think it was just an iPass ticket. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Even though I have an iPass, very confusing. Sorry,
very confusing. All right.
Tyreek Hill back in Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm taking the Chiefs.
Okay.
I'm taking the Chiefs. I mean, they're not great this year, but we talked about it the last game. The last game's it's not like the Browns have a ton of experience like their players, but Chiefs have a ton of experience in the playoffs. The Dolphins have not beaten anyone very good. They did get one win. Who was it? Was it the
Cowboys
Cowboys?
in
They beat the
Miami.
Cowboys. In Miami, though, yes. It's in Kansas City. It's supposed to be cold. It's going to snow. I'm taking the Chiefs.
Big Ounce is going with the Dolphins, so we got a good old-fashioned
Wow.
split up to me in Yeller. I will take the Chiefs, and I'm gonna. It's a little bold of me, I guess, to say this, but I'm pretty damn confident. I don't think it's that bold. Pretty damn confident with it. At home, experienced team, best player in football, Patrick Mahomes, and then they click into gear. It's gonna be freezing in the Miami Dolphins. Who have home field advantage in Miami. Got to go to Kansas City where it's gonna be freezing. Maybe we'll get some snow. I don't know. It's snowing here. I know that, but slush, a lot of slush.
Yeah.
Miami's beat up at the worst time. Pass rush. They
Yeah.
got no pass rush left. It's all injured. They're signing guys off the street right now. And then Yeller is not gonna make it a good old fashioned split. He's gonna take the Chiefs. So it's just like the last game. It is a 4-2 split. There you have it. That is Saturday nights. So now let's go on to the first Sunday game. It is the last of the AFC games. It's the 7-seed Pittsburgh Steelers without TJ Watt, but they're hot. Mason Rudolph, Najee Harris running the ball extremely well. They're going to Buffalo, who just took the AFC East title, the 2-seed. They're a little beat up too, but it is in Buffalo. They are a different team at home. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bills. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You don't give the
Without
Steelers a
TJ
shot.
Watt,
They're a
no.
machine right now. Okay.
Without TJ, it's going to be tough. I mean, the only way they could do it is if Josh Allen has a meatball day.
He kind of had a meatball day against
And
the
they still
Dolphins,
won.
and they still won. Yeah. So there you have it.
Because Tua and the Dolphins had a meatball day.
Everybody is taking the Buffalo Bills. Hip Hop Harry even took the Buffalo Bills. So
Hip hop.
Love him.
everybody for the Bills. Yeah, I just outmatching the Steelers at home. No TJ Watt. I think the Bills get the job done here. I think this is probably the more easier ones. Watch Steelers win. I said that, but one of the easier ones, maybe the easiest one of the week. I had something else to say and I forgot what it was.
The Titans got them in.
The Titans helped out the Steelers. The Titans also fired Mike Vrabel today. Pete. A lot of people actually asked me on Twitter, like, how's Pete? Like, is this like the draft day when they trade A.J. Brown? Somebody said that.
I had to hold my I wasn't as mad as that.
You had to hold a shit in? Is that what you're going to say?
No, I was at work. I just had to hold in my
Your anger?
my anger a
Were you
little
a bunch
bit.
of in front of a bunch of kids?
No, I was off. I was off that hour, but I wasn't even on Twitter. I was like working on some stuff, and all of a sudden, like my phone buzzed or my watch buzzed, and it said Bleacher Report. It was like breaking news of Vrabel fired.
And you're like,
what?
fuck! And the whole school heard you?
Yeah,
Mm.
no, just had to hold it in, and just confused by the whole thing, and the whole day has just been weird.
Just doesn't feel right.
Doesn't feel right. Yeah.
Okay.
Carthon had a press conference. He kind of bombed the press conference then.
I'll have
It
to check that out.
seemed like Amy Adams Strunk, the owner, she kind of like left them out there to dry. Like she like videotaped a 4-minute interview about like why she made the decision, and she wasn't questioned by reporters about anything. And like they're asking Carthon why they made the decision. He's like, "Oh, it wasn't really my decision. It was Amy's decision." And like people thought it was because they didn't really get along, but like Carthon's like, no, like we got along really well. So it's just a weird situation. I don't know.
Hey, Pete, let me tell you, your team's doing it right though. You could
You
be in
think
the
so?
you could be in the position that like, well, whether if you're on the fence, you don't know if you want to keep your coach, like you probably need a new coach if that's the case, because if you have any doubts, it's not going to work out. And you could be like the Bears, who have a bunch of doubts, yet they have somehow still Getsy is on the payroll, and I'm very confused as to how that's the case. But yeah,
Do the work, okay? Do the
Do
work.
the work.
All
that's
right.
for Ryan Poles. That's for Ryan Poles. Do the work.
Everybody for the Buffalo Bills. Next Sunday game is an NFC game. It's the Packers, who are hot, got in the playoffs. They're the 7th seed going to Dallas. Dallas is known for choking in the playoffs, just not being able to get the job done. But they are obviously always a solid team, and they're at home. They're a very solid team at home. So is Jordan Love going to go in there and do it?
And hit him every play?
Is he going to go in there?
I'm excited because I'm excited for this game because Mike McCarthy is known. Remember the watermelon game? Was that a couple years ago?
Yeah, were they smashing watermelons in the locker room?
Yeah, it was the day before in the meetings. They smashed watermelons and really just got the team pumped up. I cannot wait for whatever story comes out about that. But I think that Dallas is winning this game.
Okay.
And then it's going to come out that everyone's going to start saying, "Oh, has Dallas turned the corner?" And then they're just going to flop it next week. But this is like, when you're going to juke someone out and you do one move and then this is the head fake when really they're just going to go right back to the old Cowboys.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Pete?
I like it. Yeah, I'm going to take the boys at home. There's different team at home. Feel pretty good about this one, too. I mean, I just think the Packers barely squeaked in. I think Cowboys, high-powered offense, should put up a lot of points on the Packers' defense. They're the 2 seed, so I think they might make it to the NFC Championship. I think they're going to be home again next week, and then they might flop.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. Packers, impressive. Jordan Love, impressive. Young receivers, Jaden Reed, etc. They're impressive, but still worry about their defense. I think the Cowboys at home will dice them up a bit. CeeDee Lamb going to be too much for them. Packers might be able to put up some points. We'll see how they approach it. Do they just focus on draining clock and giving the Cowboys limited chances? It's a possibility, but I'm comfortable with going with the Cowboys, and it looks like everybody is going to go with the boys this week. So fans usually like picking against the Cowboys, like ripping the Cowboys in the playoffs, from what I can recall from every year, but everyone's taking them at home in the first round. We'll see if that changes next week. If they're even still available, if they're alive still, I should say. We will see. We will see. And
I don't like Jair Alexander, man.
You don't?
He's out there.
He's a weirdo.
Okay. Sunday night, the Stafford/Goff revenge game. Stafford going back to Detroit. Rams at Lions. Probably the most exciting one for the week. Should be a lot of scoring in this one. I have been hyped on the Rams for some weeks here. I kind of predetermined I was going to take them in the first round of the playoffs no matter who they were playing, and I'm feeling it. I like the matchup for them. They can win with the run. They can win with the pass. Stafford revenge game, that helps as well. Defensively, they played better than expected. Very good coaching all the way around. The Lions' defense is looking pretty sus lately. Pretty sus. They haven't been playing. They started to go downhill not too long ago. Then they started going back uphill, but they haven't seen the Rams recently either. I think both offenses will score. I think the Lions' key is to keep pounding the football, but I think the Rams have so many different ways to win. So I feel more comfortable with the experience of the LA Rams here.
There you go.
I'm taking the Rams as well here on the road.
Look at this.
I think Stafford gets his revenge.
Okay.
Is it revenge though?
I mean, it's kind of like one of the best win-win trades I've ever seen, to be honest.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, they sent them to a good spot, and he got a Super Bowl, which was nice. But again, it's crazy. He hasn't played in Detroit since playing for Detroit. So I think Stafford's going to tear it up back in Detroit. I'm going to go with the Rams too. And Riz already said it, the experience. Like I just said, the Rams have won a Super Bowl with Aaron Donald, Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp. I think those guys really show out in this game. I think the Lions are gonna. I mean, they're gonna be a good team, I think, for a little while. But Dan Campbell, I think, is a good coach. I think he reminds me a lot of Vrabel. But this is kind of like his first true playoff test here. So
first rodeo.
Does. Yep.
Yeller's taking the Rams. Hip Hop Harry is taking the Rams. Says Stafford
Oh
goes
my
into
God.
Detroit and gets the victory. Big Ounce is going to be the lone dog over here. Take the lone Texan taking the Detroit Lions, the favorite team, the home team, and yeah, they're explosive enough. They can win at home with that crowd, with that two-headed monster at running back. A lot of pressure on Goff here. Which Goff's going to show up? I think which Goff's going to show up. I know everything else. The running backs are going to look really good. I think the Lions' offensive line will be pretty fine. I mean, Aaron Donald will probably beat them here and there. And the Lions' defense, I think we know it's probably not going to be good. I think I'm confident with that. The Rams, we know Stafford's going to sling the ball. He might turn it over, but he's going to sling it around, make big-time plays. We know Kyron Williams is going to run the ball well. And the Rams' defense, a little bit of a question. On paper, they don't look that great. They got rid of a lot of big-time players. What looks great is Aaron Donald, and some other players are playing very well, so don't get me wrong. But now it's the playoffs. Will teams expose that defense because it's a little thin on talent compared to past years? So the questions for both teams, the Rams defense and Jared Goff's consistency here, that's what I'm looking for on Sunday night. So one person went with the Lions, a little surprising there. I don't know if it's that surprising. I'm surprised that the Rams are underdogs by 3.5. I thought I was onto something. I thought they might be favored, actually, but they're not. So that should be a fun one on Sunday night. Hopefully, I just hope the refs let everyone play ball and don't decide any games. But they did decide. They're probably going to let teams play ball. But yeah, the fact that they kind of didn't in the regular season is going to be like, all right, it's going to look kind of sketchy when they let teams play ball. And like, why is it different? So that's just kind of my wish for the week, though, is hopefully no games decided by the officials. There's a super wild card Monday night football game. It is the Eagles and the Bucs in Tampa. Bucs started to kind of get going later in the year. The Eagles, the opposite. They were stinking it up. They were very much sus. The defense was awful, and the offense was not awful, but it didn't seem right. A couple guys getting beat up here and there at the end of the year, that last game, going into the last game as well. So it's tough. It's tough. Which Eagles are going to show up, like the Eagles that we expected or that we saw for most this year and that we expected for the playoffs, or the Eagles that were recently playing. Which Bucs are going to show up, like which Baker's going to show up. They've had a lot of good from Baker this year, and the defense has been look like the worst in football at one point, and then it's looked all right, maybe down the very end, the stretch. So we're all over the place here. Like, what's going to show up in this game? That's a big thing. Interesting fact, I don't know why the NFL did this, but it's the same head official for this game as when they played each other earlier in the year. So same exact official as the previous matchup, which was this year, and the Eagles won that game. That was also a primetime game. That was Monday night as well, I believe. So that's interesting. But, yeah.
Give me the Bucs.
Junior's taking the Bucs. Okay.
I'm taking the Bucs. The Eagles have just been like, this is probably the worst way. Like, there's limping into the playoffs, and there is just skid marks everywhere into the playoffs, and that's what the Eagles are doing. So I think the Bucs take them at home.
Skid marks. You heard it right there.
Skid marks.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the toughest game to pick. It's just, like you said, we don't know who's gonna show up. I don't know. You're dragging me over there. I'm taking the Eagles.
I wasn't dragging you over there. See?
Oh, there we go. Taking the Eagles, like I've been talking about. I know the Bucs have experience, but they had Tom Brady. The Eagles have had recent experience getting all the way to the Super Bowl. I know they're not getting the pass rush and that's kind of causing a lot of the defensive issues. But I think the offense kind of gets going here. I think they were resting Devontae Smith on purpose. I feel like he's going to be good to go. I think A.J. Brown's going to be okay. I think they get some stuff going on offense in this one. I think Sirianni maybe take some of that play calling. I don't know if he has full play calling responsibilities right now. I think he takes it under his own, puts it under his own responsibilities and kind of takes over here.
Yeller is taking the Tampa Bay Bucs, joining Junior over there. I will join Pete on the Eagles. I mean, if the Eagles play like they did at the end of the season, they're going to lose the game, plain and simple. I don't know. Like, the Bucs have to play pretty bad to not win. if that's the case. But I think they kind of click into gear for the playoffs here. They just got too much talent. Like the Bucs have talent as well, but the Eagles got more talent. They got the experience from last year. They got star talent. A big thing, Eagles defense probably not going to be good. I could see the Bucs defense kind of going back to struggling like it was too, just mainly because the star talent the Eagles have. I'm not really that worried about the Eagles' offense. Like, that offensive line is going to play good. Jalen Hurts is going to play good. If A.J. Brown's out there, he's going to play good. Devontae Smith's going to play good. Dallas Goedert. Like, these guys aren't going to choke, I don't think. And a big deciding factor for me was the difference in the trenches. The Bucs do have a pretty good pass rush, and their offensive line's been better than expected, but the Eagles have maybe the best offensive line in football. And on paper, they have a star-studded defensive line. I think it could show up. I think it could show up in a game like this. I think the main issue has been easy and quick separation allowed from the secondary, and even the linebackers have been atrocious in coverage. But Eagles, the talent shows. Give me Philly in this one. Big Ounce is taking the Eagles as well, and Hip Hop Harry is taking the Eagles. He says the Eagles have been fraudulent this year, but he's hammering the -3. Eagles are -3. He said he's gonna put the house on it. He thinks, just kind of too talented, maybe ready for the moment more.
I don't know about that one though.
He's feeling it. He's feeling it on this one. I mean that could be a good one on Monday night. Yeah, 4 versus 2. Yeller and Jr. on the Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Big Baker guys over here.
Big Baker guys.
Do the work.
Thank you.
All right, there you have it for Wildcard Pick'ems. We'll be back next week with divisional round Pick'ems. We have all kinds
Super Wildcard Pick'ems.
Super Wildcard Pick'ems.
Is it Super Divisional Round?
Super
Pick'ems,
Divisional Round Pick'ems. It's not, but sure, we can do that. We have loads of content for the playoffs already on the channel. More to come. We have mock draft. We got regrading the first round of the draft. We got a free agency video. More to come on that. We're going to rank the rookies still. Top 25 rookies. We do that every year. So excited about all that content. Anybody else have any thoughts before we sign out here?
What about do you got your coaching predictions?
Oh, that's a little early for that. I mean, who needs a coach? The Panthers want Ben Johnson, repeat of last year. They wanted Ben Johnson, but does he want to go there? I don't think so. I think Ben Johnson could end up with the Chargers, but I think Jim Harbaugh could also end up with the Chargers. Jim Harbaugh could also end up with the Raiders. The Raiders has got to be... What? Whoa.
Hey, whoa. We don't talk like that.
You want Jim Harbaugh with the Bears? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'll take him.
No, but they're not going to get rid of Eberflus.
No, I don't know about that.
Harbaugh is either going to be Raiders, Chargers, or Michigan. I think the Raiders either go Harbaugh or Antonio Pierce. Chargers could be Harbaugh or Ben Johnson. Brian Callahan, Bengals offense coordinator, his name's floating around there a bit. Maybe the Bengals' success on offense, somewhat of success even with Browning in there, is causing that. Mike McDonald, the Ravens defense coordinator, his name's floating around there. Could he end up at Washington, or do they promote Bieniemy? They hire some outside names. They hire Bob Myers, who is the GM of the Warriors. That's kind of funny. But and then Rick Spielman, former Vikings GM, as consultants to kind of find their future head coach. I don't think they promote a guy in-house if they're kind of that, like, in going that deep into a search. So maybe not Bieniemy there. Titans, maybe Bobby Slowick is the most likely. As of right now, Vrabel's got to be a lead guy. I think the Commanders hiring Vrabel. I think a guy like Rick Spielman probably could. He maybe would recommend a guy like Vrabel. I can see that, but maybe that's a little bit too much like the Rivera hire, where Rivera was a good leader, a good defensive coach. When leaving the Panthers, he was considered a really good coach. Should he be available? And the Commanders go with him. So maybe it's too similar. I do like Vrabel a lot more, but maybe that's too similar to that, like to the same thing. Falcons. Yeah, Falcons probably waiting for Belichick if he becomes available. I don't know if they go Vrabel because they got Arthur Smith from the Titans. Is that it's a little weird, even though they're different style or different. I don't think they're different style actually, but they're different backgrounds, I guess, one offense, one defense. So it's pretty early in the process. Dan Quinn's name always pops up but never goes anywhere. Frank Smith from the Dolphins, his name's popping up a little bit. I'm probably forgetting some, but those are my initial.
What do you think about the Titans? Amy Adams Strunk, her excuse for not trading Vrabel was because they wanted to they didn't want to wait and be behind on the hiring process when all their candidates are in the playoffs right now. They can't even interview.
Yeah, I didn't really get that. You didn't even try. It's like they're in a little bit too much of a hurry. I mean, the playoffs didn't even start yet. The season just ended 2 weeks ago. I think you got to give it a try. I understand you want to get a jump on things, and you don't want the candidates to think like, oh, they might keep Vrabel. They're not sure if they want me. I understand that, but it's too early. Like, get a couple weeks at least. Like, get a couple weeks, try to trade him. Schefter reported that he's supposed to be like a top candidate for several teams, maybe most teams.
I mean, I think every team would love to have him. I feel like he'd benefit every single team that needs a job.
And I think everything's already at a stall and kind of pushing things back as of now as it is, because I think a lot of people are waiting for does Bill Belichick become available, and that still hasn't happened officially. So I think that kind of pushes things back as it is. So I don't know why the Titans.
Does Eberflus become available?
Yeah, I don't. I think the Titans were like in a rush for no reason, so I thought that was a little odd. There must be some sort of bad blood in there, like it was just get them out of here.
I don't know what the problem is. Doesn't sound like it though.
Yeah, but for them to be in a hurry like that is a little odd. Like I understand.
They're getting Harbaugh? No, I'm just kidding. They're not getting Harbaugh.
Another old school guy. Yeah, if Belichick's gone from the Patriots, I think Vrabel's got to lead the way for that. And I've heard I heard the Commanders would be interested. I'm guessing everybody would, but I heard specifically, it sounded like 1 Falcons, 2 Commanders, which I would like the Falcons because I think the Falcons are a quarterback away. Maybe an edge rusher too, but that's a good roster. So the only thing with that is I think they really improved on defense, and Ryan Nielsen coached a good defense there. So do you bring in a defensive-minded coach? Do you try to get somebody on offense and keep Nielsen there? But, you can't be afraid to get better. If you see Belichick available and you feel like he's the guy, you go and get him. But, yeah, Vrabel's a top guy, but I mentioned it, like him with the Falcons, that's, like, interesting. Will they stay away because they got Arthur Smith from the Titans and that didn't work out, even though they have different backgrounds, but the same background from the team, but just offense versus defense. So I thought that was interesting. But we'll see. So those are my initial thoughts. We don't have to rush like the Titans to make our predictions here because there's a lot of time, a lot of factors, and the playoffs didn't even start yet. So excited about all of it. Excited about the playoffs. Excited about the coaching carousel. Excited about upcoming cuts, trades, free agency, the draft, the combine. We got you covered for all of it. All of it here at the Goat House. So it's going to wrap it up unless somebody else has something. Anybody got anything else? No?
Hip Hop Harry.
Hip Hop Harry? Hip Hop Harry. Okay. That will do it for Wild Card Pick'ems. Join us next week for Divisional Round Pick'ems. I'll have my score predictions tomorrow, Wednesday, for my Wild Card games, picks against the spread. So join us for that as well. It's going to do it. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.